Okay, we can try that now. Did that work this time? I am so sorry. Hopefully this worked. Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, I just updated OBS earlier today, and yeah, so loud and clear, good volume that we have. Cool. All right. I am so sorry for the delay there. Yeah, that was not fun to deal with there. That was really, really pissing me off. But I am happy that all of you had just stuck around and were patient with me. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, sorry. Like I said, updated OBS. I guess it just completely messed with a bunch of my settings, so I had to fix all of them. I thought audio was done. Blame it on Windows 11. I really can't at this point because I have a MacBook, so this is I can't really use that sadly, but I do want to go through here and say thanks to all of you for coming in here. I just want to say hello and welcome. From Bubba Joe 24, Horror Master, great to see you again. Luck West, great to see you. Floyd's Manager, great to see you. Darko's Darko SCZ 8191. Greetings to you too. Joshua, great to see you. Lego Master, I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. Feather Guardian, fun that someone's calling me Nicholas on here. That's funny. J Tom, still will change the power scale of DC Universe. Yeah, the power of the hierarchy of power of the DC Universe is about to change with this list here. Team Beast Boy and Injustice 3. All right, stay tuned for that. Lego Master, are you going to include 2 or 4 guest characters? So I have 8 here, and what I'm going to do is it's going to be 4 guest characters in total, but it's going to be broken up, similar to what they did with not Mortal Kombat, Injustice 2. We're going to have 2 comic book guest characters and 2 Mortal Kombat guest characters, but this is what I want to make it more fun, so I'd love to have all of you participate in this as well. So that'll change with this as well too. Lego Master, once again, I'm thinking Liu Kang, Cage, He-Man, or Iron Man. Interesting picks there. We need Mr. Terrific. We're gonna get to that in a little bit. Also Peacemaker. Peacemaker's needed. A lot of people are saying, please Peacemaker, not Peacemaker. Peacemaker with John Cena VA. There's a lot of people who just went into that, and then there's the string of people when it comes to audio. So all right, thank you, appreciate the patience, and I'm so sorry, but yeah, I am sorry for the issues there. Can't wait to see Sonic or Shadow in here. Please God, someone donate 10 to 15 bucks to make it happen. Okay, so here's the other thing too. As you can see, hey Nick, it's Moj. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see. Great to see you. Or hear from you again. It's wonderful. So we're gonna do something very interesting. As you can see, we have that progress bar down below. We are currently at 143 out of 500. And to make this more interesting, and so we can have more punishments for myself, I devised this little board here. So what we're going to do is we have stream milestone punishments here. Don't know if you can read it that well. I'm gonna try and switch it over to a different one here, just so you can see it easier. But yeah, so no audio again. Was it just because of that? It may have been because of the channel I went through. But just to run through it again, we are going to be doing charity things in here. So what we'll be doing is if $10 is donated that goes to the progress, not only will okay, yep, it was just that scene. Got it. All right, I'll have to fix all this before the big stream tomorrow. But I'm just going to stick on this one. I'm going to stick on this panel. I am not switching to any other scene because OBS is a nightmare. Why did I decide to update it today? So what we're going to be doing, so you guys can understand, I'm just going to run through it again real quick. We're going to do these punishments based on every donation that's put down below. So for $10, I'm going to spin a wheel of punishment. So there's going to be, for $10, it'll be either 10 burpees, 15 squats, 20 push-ups, and me having to take some really big hot sauce because I can't do spice. But at the same time, you're going to be contributing to helping fund research for rare diseases such as UBA5. So not only are you going to laugh at me being hurt or in pain, you're also going to be contributing to funding and helping out with research on rare diseases. So that's what we're going to be doing with this. And on top of it, if you also do throw a donation in there, your name will show up, and throw in like a name and we can have a discussion in there. I am possibly going to throw in a, you can't see my cursor, but, as you can see, like the bottom row is green. We are going to probably make one where it's chat's choice, and I'll have a few more spots on the side so we can make it more engaging where it's like, who are people that you really want to see? All right. You know what? We're going to do that right now, actually, just so, okay. So we're going to have chat's choice with this one. And I'll make that, what color do you want to be? I'm going to make you yellow. How about that? All right. So we have, I have an entire list of characters that I think would be great fits for this game. So we have the base roster, which I believe I have it set as 28 through here. I could be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18. Yeah, it is 28. Yep. So we're going to go through 28 for the base roster. Like, who seems to be base roster characters, and then we're gonna have people who would make it interesting for the story, who would be like fun people to include that fit the DC world, people who either have been in the Injustice games that don't need to be there all the time, but it would just be nice if they're there or not there. And then I do want to throw in a few like new picks or brand new people, just so it's fresh, because it would be annoying if it's like Injustice 2 all over again and it's the same characters. But I see a lot of people are putting in the chat here. There are a lot of interesting characters you guys are putting in here. All right, so J Tom has already mentioned the obvious here, and so yeah, I'm going to just take a look-see here, and we are just going to get the obvious picks in here for right now, which is just going to be the top row, which is just primarily characters that we're like, we know they're going to be there. They're guarantee characters. Let me just find my notes that I have. And as we go through each of the columns, similar to what we did with the MK version, we're going to also just kind of like debate and be like, okay, are we good? Anyone we should swap around? Anything like that? So don't worry. We are going to make this a little discussion heavy while we're here. So first character, let me I just got a screenshot of it. Everyone saw this coming. This is no surprise. Let me get back to Photoshop here. So we're here. Everyone saw this coming. What? An Injustice game without Batman? But yeah. So Batman is our first pick. I'm pretty sure everyone knew that was coming. Yep, the Batman. The only thing that's gonna suck about Batman in this is that sadly it's not gonna be played by the Batman himself, Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace. Rain and I have been Rain's been watching it more than I have been, but Batman the Animated Series. So and hearing his voice again as Batman, it's like he's so good. He gone too soon. It's sad. All right, I already see a few interesting discussions in here. So we have Terry for Injustice AMA, dude. All right, you're allowed to dream. Okay, I'm not gonna judge you on that. Would it be a hot take to say that Supergirl should replace Clark Kent? Okay, so, yep. Darko, why not? Supergirl is fine. I'd say for narrative purposes, I would be fine with having two Kryptonians, just make them play different. That's all I have to say. And they did a good job with that in Injustice 2. General Zod, okay, that's interesting. I feel like that would be nice. I know there was a big push for him in the first Injustice because the movie was coming out, but I'm getting a little sidetracked here. So let me get on to the next obvious pick here, and that is what is this art that I just found of him? We have our second character here. I am just choosing just random pictures of all of these characters. So we have our next. Oh my God, that is really big. All right. Up next, we've got ourselves the Man of Steel himself. Very good movie that came out this year if you haven't seen it. But Superman. Yeah, you need to have Superman and Batman in the same game. It'd be weird if you had one and not the other. They are the faces of DC, after all. Special guest, Soldier Boy. Or we're gonna get into guest characters later, but yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit though. Keep Hal Jordan. All right, yeah, we're gonna talk about aliases and like the mantle of who is each person in a moment though. But yeah, I love Bane and I'd love to see Croc, but we need Croc and Clayface more. Remember that. Okay. So up next, we've got ourselves the other member of the Justice League. And I don't think anyone's arguing this. I just have to find a good picture of the character here. And here we go. That is insanely big. But yeah. As of right now, this entire row is just obvious picks. So in case you're wondering why it's like, why aren't there any like interesting characters yet? It's because these are all characters we know who are going to make it. That's why. Okay. Up next, yep, Wonder Woman. You need to have the trio. They need to be there. They deserve to be there. But yeah, I'd say that they are essential. Okay, you bring up a great point. Big Wonder Woman, not just Wonder Woman, big Wonder Woman. You bring up an interesting point, Lego Master. Yeah, so just because characters are dead doesn't mean that they're not gonna be in. Remember the whole case with what's his name? Green Arrow. He died in the timeline for the main Injustice universe, but he still showed up in Injustice 2. They just said it was another multiverse variant. So yeah, like we can't rule out characters just because they're dead. I mean, they can figure out a way to include them. It's like with Mortal Kombat characters. Like if they wanted to be realistic and be like, hey, we can't have half the roster in we can't have half the roster in MKX because a lot of them died in MK9. It's like, we'll figure out a way, and that's where we got Revenants. But I just wanted to highlight that there. So up next, I have to look back at my list back and forth here because I put it on my my phone. But yeah, up next is my good friend, one of my good friends who I'm actually the best man in his wedding. His favorite superhero, and let me get the picture ready. Another iconic character that we need to have, and that's the Flash. Flash has to be there. He's too iconic. He's too important. He's also just very fun to play as in these games. So I would say that, yeah, he deserves to be here. It's kind of messing with me that I have Superman super big. I just want to fix that a little bit. But yeah, so I think that yeah, he belongs here. Hey, that's me, Grand Mental. Yeah, that's you. That is you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. And you don't need to apologize for being late. You think they'll bring in the skins of the absolute variants? Yes, I think they will. They do the premiere skins and they do fun stuff like that because it's DC. So yeah. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I guarantee that they're gonna do something fun like that. And if we have characters that feel too similar, don't worry. I can just say like, yeah, they'll have a premiere skin for this character because like what they did with Injustice 2, they had like 3 different speedsters and they're like, we'll just make them all the Flash. Like you can play as Reverse Flash, you can play as I'm already forgetting the other one. Oh god. He had the fun hat, tight shirt. I'm gonna get grilled by my Grand Mental for this. All right. Anyway, moving on though. We have our next one, which is another obvious. And fun fact is, if my mother's watching this, hi mom. That's all I have to say. This is my mom's, no joke, favorite superhero pre Momoa era. She loved him in the Super Friends. It's Aquaman. My mother loves Aquaman so much. But yeah, I have to put him in there, not only just for her, but he's also one of my favorite characters to play as in this game. So yeah, or in Injustice 1 and 2. So I think he deserves a slot there at least. Jay Garrick, that's his name. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was drawing a blank really badly. Thank you. All right, yeah, and then my main man, GL Hal Jordan. That's when it's going to get interesting because I do want to say we have Green Lanterns next on my list, but do we go John Stewart or do we go Hal Jordan? So I think just for now, I'm going to use a picture of Green Lantern, but it's interchangeable at this point. It can be either one. I don't mind. I'm not picky. But personally, I would like to see John Stewart just because he's interesting. And I'd like to see him in something that's not Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. I ended up buying that game for like $10 and it was, or $5, and it was a giant regret of mine. Yeah, Aquaman is fantastic, and he was voiced by Samurai Jack himself. Yeah, what's his name? Phil Lamar. He's awesome. Love me some Jay Garrick. Prima Moa era fan is insane, low key. Yeah, I know. Yeah, my mom is a giant fan of Aquaman, and I used to grill her so much for it, so much so that when I went to my first Comic-Con in Detroit, I ended up finding old issues of Aquaman comics, and I ended up giving them to my mom just to be like, hey, I thought you'd like this. She still owns them, by the way, and that was like 15 years ago or something like that. It's crazy. All right. Who do I have next on my list? Rain actually just got home, so I wonder if Rain's gonna jump in here and say something. Be a little goofy. I don't know. But all right, up next. Whoops, I have to get this one picture here. All right, this is a wonderful picture. Just because I saw this as like one of the first. I saw this as one of the first images on Google. I have to go with this. All right, up next we have yep, Supergirl. And spoiler to anyone who has not seen Superman yet, I'm sorry. But yeah, Supergirl is another obvious pick because Supergirl is getting a movie next year, so it only just makes sense that they would include the character as well in here. Cyborg potentially as base character, like, oh, Cyborg. Oh, for a second I thought Cyrax for a second. Lobo, yeah, I see a lot of Lobos in here. Kyle Rayner is dead in the Injustice timeline, quartered in space. Unless they want to like completely retcon the entire series, then sure, I guess that's a way that we can work. But yeah, I don't mind what they do with that. Oh, hey, what's up, Chip? Great to see you. Thank you for coming in here. Hope you're doing well. Yes, let's go Green Lantern's Light. Swamp Thing by Why Are We Always Yelling? Maybe after the movie and the new series coming up, they might add Kai Gardner. That would be interesting. I would love to see that as either like if they do like 2 Green Lanterns in the story and one of them is that one, and if they somehow, I know this is like wishful thinking, if they got Nathan Fillion to do that too, that would be insane. But I don't know if that's going to happen though, but that would still be cool. All right. And then up next we have our next obvious. We have 3 more in this category of like, yeah, they're going to be in no matter what. They've been in either they just are very crucial to the story, or they're just super iconic where it's like they're going to be there no matter what. But I need to find a good image because I don't really like a lot of the art style that shows up when you find this character. But yeah, it's Harley Quinn. When in doubt, just go animated series look. But yeah, I'd say that Harley Quinn, she's been in Injustice 1, Injustice 2, super fun playstyle. Definitely would like to see her in there at least. The skin should be half the roster size. Yeah, that would be nice because I think that was a problem in the first one or the second one where only like a good number of characters got the costumes. So that was annoying to deal with. Raven or Martian Manhunter would be great in Injustice 3. Yes, I definitely agree with you there. I think Hal killed Guy in Injustice, so that would have to be a multiversal variant. Yeah, they did that with Green Arrow, so yeah, it would yeah, so yeah, that I wouldn't rule that out. That'd be something. Hope you're well. Went to Spirit Halloween today dressed as Kenny's dad from South Park. Oh, that's so cool. Also in the Superboy comic, comics over the past few years, he traveled to the Injustice universe. I forgot there's a lot of weird multiversal stuff in DC lately. Batwoman should replace Batgirl in my opinion. Those are fighting words with Rain. That's all I'm going to say. As long as Tara Strong is voicing the character and not Margot, then I'm okay with that. I think live action, I'm fine with it being Margot. But if it's like voice roles, it's like then it has to be Tara Strong because she is the character. Arkham Lantern with MMH, Martian Manhunter. We're gonna get moving still. Don't worry. We're gonna get into the area where we can add more fun characters and all that. Up next, let's get to the other obvious one that's been in. So the reason that I have this obvious ones like they're gonna be here, they play a role or they've been in the last two games, so we can kind of guarantee that they'll be there. But yeah, this third one I feel is going to happen. The character's popular, so I assume that she would be there. And that would be Catwoman. She plays a pretty important role, especially when it comes to Batman, like in Batman's arc and all of that. So like she was like the mole that was helping out with like cracking down Gorilla Grodd and stuff like that in the story, so that'd be fun. I said for this time, Carson, we have to do it this time. That's what we're doing. No, Batgirl is more interesting than Batwoman. In my opinion, Mystery of the Batwoman is the best version of the character. I need to check that out, actually. DC gets crazy with the multiverse. I believe they've done 4 different reboots in the continuity. The only one I'm super familiar with is New 52. And what I'm just finding out recently is that people really hate it. Which I thought was like, oh, cool, that's cool. And then when I found out about it, it's like, oh, like actually people didn't like this. Here's a suggestion. Booster Gold, he's a fun character and he's got futuristic tech. He's all about fame, like a mix of Cable from X-Men and Johnny Cage. Yeah, I feel like after MK11 came out and we had Geras who plays with time along with Chronica, I wonder if they're going to try and translate some of that into something like into Injustice at least. Now I already saw this in the chat at least. That people were like, don't include this character or include this character. It's gonna happen no matter what, whether you love it or hate it. The character is way too popular, and it's the Joker, baby. But yeah, I think as much as I don't want him in here, honestly, he's too popular. Like, he's going to be there no matter what. I think that the Joker, he still deserves a spot, and I know that people aren't going to love it that much. Like, because he's dead, and then he had, like, a very small part in the the Injustice 2 story. I think he only had, like, one fight against Harley Quinn or something, and then he was, like, low tier or whatever. So he wasn't that fun, honestly, to play as, but it's definitely one of those like, okay, he's a very popular character, so he's gonna be there. But yeah, I think that he's still gonna be there no matter what because he's a very important character at least. All right, so yeah, this is what I'd consider this column as obvious picks. How are we feeling so far? Good with all of these? Because we're going to get into, excuse me, a different territory with the rest of it where it's just going to be like, hey, here's other characters that where it's like, hey, like they have a chance of showing up realistically based on like how popular they are in the new DCU or how popular they're going to be when it comes to something like in terms of gameplay or just overall popularity, or just like a risk where it's going to be like, do we want to include someone like this who hasn't been in the universe yet? So we're going to get there in just a moment though, but here's just kind of like, these are just plain obvious, like they're going to be here. Stable picks. Okay. All right. Thanks, Arkham Lantern. If I remember correctly, Joker and Harley has a daughter, but Harley hiding the truth. Isn't that something in Arkham City, if I'm correct? Good, but where is Red Hood? This is just the obvious picks who have been in both games or at least play a huge critical role. So that's why I just went with this column first. So it was just like obvious picks. But anyway, we're just going to get to the next one, which are characters who have been in either Injustice 2 or have been in Injustice 1. I want to call this returning characters, this next set of 11 characters. So these are characters who have only shown up just once in the series, and I think it would be fun to have them come back in some way. So we're going to be going with the first one, who, fun fact, is actually my Halloween costume for this year, and who I will be going as at Ozoku-con. And that is Yomakon. Sorry. Thank you, Rain, from the other room. And that is Nightwing. I was so upset that he was not in Injustice 2, but in terms of story, I understand why, but it still upsets me why he wasn't. But I'd still love to see him there. He deserves to come back. But yeah, I think he needs to be there. Legacy, and then now we're into like returning characters. That's where we are. Nightwing, yep. Yeah. It's nice to see people interacting with one another in here. It's so fun. Green Arrow has been in both games. I'm gonna play a little bit of a curveball here. I don't have Green Arrow in my my roster, actually. So we can actually change it up if we want to. If it's Dick Grayson, it'll be a variant because Damian killed him. Yeah, we'll figure something out with that. It could probably be a variant. That's what I'm thinking of as of right now. I mean, they did that with Green Arrow already. And in the current Injustice line, Dick Grayson has another mantle. So that's something that's going on. But yeah, so speaking of talking about fun characters or just really cool characters like Nightwing, another one that would be awesome to see, I just want to find this picture of them because I love how they look in this, and that there is Starfire. That is not what I wanted to do. But yeah, Starfire, I definitely want to see make a return. She was DLC in season 1, so I definitely think that she definitely deserves to make a return, especially as like a main roster character. So yeah, I would say that it would be cool to see Starfire come back in that way. Just have her be a main playable character on the base roster. I think she'd be super fun. She was fun gameplay wise. But yeah, no, I'd love to see her maybe just slightly tweaked here and there, but no, I think she was fun. And then another character I would love to see make a return, someone that I wanted to see as my pick for a guest character in Mortal Kombat for a while. If they were going to continue the route of comic guest characters. And another returning character in the Injustice games. And that is Deathstroke. I do think that Deathstroke would be super awesome to come back. I kind of miss him, honestly. Yeah, I really miss him. I know they added Deadshot. And after Deadshot was in, I'm like, I just wanted Deathstroke instead. He was so much more fun. Like he did have plenty of zoning options, which was annoying, but Deadshot was worse. And it was like, I want Deathstroke back. Just kind of revise him a little bit, make him more focused on like a staff and sword instead. That would be super dope. But yeah, Darkseid comes back by Sean Cena. We're gonna get there eventually. We'll see that. I would not be upset if we also got King Shark. Yeah, that would be something too. I know he was pretty popular around the time of Injustice. I'd say if Injustice 3 were the next game instead of Mortal Kombat 1, then yeah, I'd definitely say that King Shark definitely deserves a spot, especially as one of the Suicide Squad representatives. Um, let's just include our whole cosplay squad in this. All right, Dale. I see you. Deathstroke would look cool, low-key sick. Yeah, just if they made his design a little bit better, because I don't like how the characters were designed in King Shark is a shark. Way to point out the obvious there. But yeah, I didn't like the design a lot of Injustice 1. Looking back at it, it's really ugly. So if they made Deathstroke just look a lot cooler, say what you want about the entire game. I honestly liked the design of Deathstroke in the Suicide Squad game. So if he had that kind of look, maybe a little bit more armor like that shoulder pad he had to kind of make him like take on people like so he can take on people like Superman and be kind of handle something like that. Carson, when people start donating, as I said, that would happen at the beginning of this stream. People start donating, we can do that. This is just from leftover from last night. All right. So definitely our next pick that we want to look at here. I need to look at my list again. Overall, we're feeling good with these picks so far. Nightwing, Starfire, and Deathstroke in the returning. Because here's another one that was in Injustice 1. Surprised they didn't make it into Injustice 2. But because of the movie, a movie that just came out recently, I feel like they'll be more relevant again. And that is a very large image again. Giant hot girl. I think would be super dope. Hot girl would be amazing to come back. I'd say just maybe improve her gameplay a little bit. I felt like she kind of played a little clunky in Injustice 1. Maybe just kind of fix that a little bit. Yes, Injustice 3 needs like less zoning characters. That is also a big thing that I am saying with all of these characters, is just make them less zoner based. Like, I am done with Laser Eyes Superman and then Laser Blast Superman and then overall gun work with like Deathstroke. That's why I was like, make him have his staff or make him have his sword and have him be more fun. I'd say just do something like that. All right, cool. A lot of people are happy with Hot Girl being put on here. All right, so that's good. I feel happy with the decision. And I'm happy to see that all of you are happy with that. All right. Next up on our list. Someone that I liked in... Oh, I almost typed in a completely different character. My brain was fogging up entirely. A character that was pretty popular at the end of the DCEU. Like, they were having their own movie, but because it was shutting down, it's like, oh, I feel bad now that nothing's happening as a result. But next character on our list, Blue Beetle, I think would be cool to have come back. Another creepy, cool, like, gadget techie character, I think would be awesome. But yeah, Blue Beetle, I feel like deserves a return. Black Lantern Shazam. Ooh, oh, someone's cooking in here. That actually sounds like a really good idea. The old Justice League cartoon from the early 2000s, Hot Girl. That would be awesome. If they did something like that, that would be great. Awkward voice crack right there and all. I really hope Zatanna comes back. Yeah, it was kind of weird that she was like the last character that came out, and then they just kind of forgot that she existed. Because she wasn't really mentioned like in the following game. I don't know about the comics. I need to read them. I only read like the first half of like year 1, so I don't remember a whole lot. Adam, as in like Feather Guardian, as in like Adam Warlock. Blue Beetle over Devora from MK. Blue Beetle is the GOAT. Yeah, okay. I see people are liking this decision. All right. Another one to include on here because I thought she was fun. It was nice that she was hinted at in Injustice 1 and then made it into Injustice 2. I was like, oh, cool. I feel like because of how fun her gameplay was, I'd love to see her be kind of a mainstay moving forward. But if anything, maybe just fix her super move because it was kind of meh. And I'd like to see Black Canary. Black Canary. I liked her playstyle a ton. I do like how she's able to somehow do full screen work with like her screeches and everything. That would be seriously Detective Chimp. Someone's getting deep in there. What about Captain Carrot? How about that? Um, Penny Plunderer. That's what the DLC is going to be. It's just going to be a bunch of weird character. Um, all right. Yeah, Black Canary, good. Black Adam, but we need Shazam more. Uh, for me now, I think it's just one or the other. If it comes to Black Adam or Shazam, I feel like they would kind of play similar enough at that point where it's like we just need one of them at this point. But yeah, I'd say we would need one or the other. I honestly do like Shazam way more in terms of personality, but just hearing what Arkham Lantern did when, you know what, cope, we're just gonna make it like we're gonna cook a little bit here, we're gonna make it Black Lantern Shazam. That would be amazing. And speaking of amazing, um I need to find just the right picture of this instead. Okay. All right, I need to find just this frame because it's so funny. Okay, I'm only finding GIFs, but I will just use this instead, and you guys will get the idea. All right. Once again, popular. It was disappointing that they weren't in Injustice 2. But I think because of just the Superman movie, Lex Luthor has more of a chance of showing up. Um, and I hope they make a reference to 1A in some way. I did not mean to make that rhyme. Uh, but yeah. Oh, no problem, Arkham. That was just a really good idea. Shazam was killed in the first game. Yes, that was the bad universe Lex Luthor. Or not Lex Luthor, Shazam. So yeah, they've done something like that. Shazam being in Injustice 3 would be cool as long as it's not as live action character. I hope not. I really hope not. The reason why Shazam didn't appear in Injustice 2 was to make space for Raiden and Black Lightning. Yeah, that does seem like it. That does seem very logical. That is so cursed. Black Lightning would be great. I would like to see Black Lightning, honestly. Dwayne Johnson is DLC. It's literally just him and not Black Adam. Oh yeah, he's just gonna completely bomb the sales of Injustice 3. That's what his super move is. Similar to what he did with Black Adam, the movie. All right. Up next on our list, I saw someone else put them on here, and I think that they need to stick around. I feel they're a mainstay when it comes to Injustice as a whole. Like another core member of the Justice League. And I know I probably could have put it up there, but I had the spacing set out differently. But yeah, Cyborg, he's got to be here. But yeah, it's cool. You get to see Nightwing and Cyborg in the same game once again, along with Starfire. But I wonder if we can make it more interesting. What if we can bring in more of these iconic characters that many of us grew up with? Because when there's trouble, you know who to call. Yeah, I think many of you know where I'm getting at with this. But yeah, I do think that Raven needs to come back so badly. I'd like to see Raven, especially with how realistic and how much the art style changed with Injustice 2. I really do think that Raven could be done so much better because I think the model did not look that great. But yeah, Cyborg and Raven definitely need to be here. Also, it would just be nice to have Nightwing, Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg all in the same game. That would be so fun. Um, but yeah, Lex is like Sector with more brutal tech. Yeah, definitely. Like having that giant laser that's out orbiting space and they can just hit you. Gideon Brown. What about Peacemaker? We'll get there in a moment. Don't worry. Um, Peacemaker, cause popularity. Yeah, that's pretty much a given at this point. Beast Boy would be a given. Raven and Zatanna need both. He has story relevance, but Cyborg felt so forced into the DC New 52. I have no idea what changed in the New 52 with him. My uh, knowledge of Cyborg is primarily just the Injustice games, Teen Titans, and then Justice League. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do see someone putting in here Gideon. Yeah, we need more villains. Yeah, don't worry, we're getting there. And then yeah, so we're gonna get there. Raven looked great in Multiverses. Imagine now. Yeah, if only Multiverses wasn't such a greedy mess of a game. Um, I was so disappointed with how that game had concluded and wrapped up. But yeah, I know someone mentioned it earlier. But I think he would be another wonderful inclusion in this game. It was cool that he was in the first one. I was disappointed that he only got a mention in Injustice 2, and it was implying that he died. But no, because he's also having a movie coming up, he's definitely relevant. And also just a character I'd love to see come back. And that's Lobo. Lobo is definitely just... He was so fun in Injustice. He had definitely the best super in the whole game. So, yeah, definitely he had the best super. So I feel that if we can top that in some way, that would be amazing. If we get Raven, I also want Dr. Hate. I don't know why, but Dr. Hate sounds like a hate commenter in a bunch of videos I'd get or something. Yeah, I think I'll have to look up more about who Dr. Hate is, honestly. If Batman characters take up half the roster in the past, then Teen Titans would be acceptable. Yeah, because at least they feel different enough, because that was my complaint with Injustice 1, like, about a third of the roster was was Batman characters. And then one of the DLCs was another Batman character. And it's like, okay, Dr. Hate is Dark Raven. Okay. Wait, what if that could be like Raven's ability, like hitting hitting circle or B and they just turn into Dark Raven? Or it could just be like a premiere skin, like what they did with what is it? Reverse Flash and Flash, doing something like that. Lobo is one of the comic most unkillable characters. Yeah, he can like almost never die. Like that's like the interesting thing about him. So like he can keep coming back. That would be interesting. But yeah, I think he'd be cool. He's like a fun superpower, like a powerhouse and whatnot. But if they could somehow like integrate his bike into the gameplay, I know it was reserved for only just the super move, but if they managed to do it somehow, that would be really cool. Noxy Nug, great to see you. Can we get Jonkler up in this? I'm the Joker, baby. Deathstroke is a Teen Titans villain. Yeah, Slade, I remember that. But yeah, I know he's like nowadays he's very associated with like Batman, but if they have it where he's like set it or frame it where he's more associated with like the Titans, and then that could be like a fun arc for like either intro dialogue or even in the story. History behind the Warrior, great to see you. Oh my god. Where is Kite Man? Don't worry, he's DLC, or we can put him in the yellow category in the side, which is just like chat's unhinged picks. We can do that. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. As I was saying, Warrior, if you want to see me do anything embarrassing or goofy, such as like have a bunch of hot sauce that I can't tolerate, or if you want me to just do like burpees, squats, or push-ups, just like a donation that goes towards the charity down below is also punishment for me. I know what my meme pick is. Bruin just or Chip, just share it. That'd be wonderful. Kite Man or Condiment King. Yes, I remember. I think I saw you comment on YouTube with that one. I'd kind of skip the Injustice cutscenes. What is the story about? So, if I had to come up with like a story for this scenario, I feel like it would just kind of, yeah, the story of the game is, or are you asking what my story is, or if, just like what this scenario would be? Because the story is like Superman just like snaps it and loses it after, Metropolis gets destroyed. And he becomes like a dictator, and he's like, you know what, we need to like get rid of the villains and everything. Like, we're not giving anyone second chances. So then like Batman and Superman become like enemies. So it's an interesting story. I don't want to give away more than that. I definitely recommend checking it out because it's definitely interesting. Honestly, one DC character I've always wanted to see in a fighting game is Clayface. Noxie, that is a very interesting one there. I think that would be dope too. But yeah. Team Dr. Psycho and Injustice 3. We need Pepsi Man. Okay, I'm just going to throw that in the unhinged one in just a moment. We need Man and Officer Ball. We need Officer Balls. Oh my god. It's also good to see it's good to hear from you again, Oddity. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry, I was not expecting to say balls on this stream. All right, up next, and closing out our third category of returning characters. Either they can be the big bad, or they don't have to be. It was weird that they had like no story relevance at all or anything, but I'd like to see them in here in some way and continuing the but kind of going on the whole fact of, yeah, we need more villains in here. Yeah, we got another one. We got ourselves Darkseid. Why did I say it like it was a question? We just got a donation. Thank you, Dale. All right. Appreciate it a ton. Let me get the wheel ready. And now I did see all of the suggestions everyone put. But since a lot of that requires the game that we're playing tomorrow, I will save those for tomorrow's stream. So don't worry. We'll like the ones that I saw where it's like I play the ladder or I play online, but all I do is just kick or something. Or I only attack, but I can't move or block. So I'm literally just playing it like it's a JRPG or something. Where it's like turn-based combat or whatever. But yeah, so don't worry. I know a lot of people had submitted stuff for what I have to do for punishments and whatnot. But don't worry. A lot of those will stay in here. But for right now, but yeah. Yeah, thank you again, Dale, for the donation. Appreciate it a ton. So, all right, we landed on 10 burpees. Oh my god. All right. I'm going to have to raise this desk, actually, while I do this. Rest of the stream with a Nightwing mask on? I'm going to have to get that then. We're going to make this a little bit more fun. All right. Just so you can see that I'm actually doing this. Had to take the Crocs off. There we go. I feel good. All right. Here's where things get good. All right. Mad Hatter with Psychic. Oh my God, I gotta breathe. Yeah, thank you for stopping by, Warrior. I appreciate it a ton. Arkham Lantern. Skipping ahead to DLC. Okay. All right, cool. Darkseid's got a big head. Yeah, he does. If NRS can bring Pepsi Man as T1000, then Clayface is perfect. Beavis and Butthead, they were Teen Titans. And that Robot Chicken sketch, yeah. Oh my God. My God. Whew. Okay. Out of the picks, where is Beast Boy? Also, hi, Nick. Great to see you, Reptosaurus King. Happy to see you here. At the NNPW, thank you, Darko. When your favorite character main appears in the game equals Joey from Friends. I actually need to watch that show so badly. I've only seen a few episodes of it, but it was so funny. All right. I lost my train of thought for a second, but so yeah, that was my second category, which is returning characters that I have as my notes on here, and that's so now we're gonna move into our next category, which is burpees are deceptive. Yeah, they are, and possibly the devil. Oh my God. Whew. Yeah, I feel good though. All right, so up next we have our category, which is brand new characters. This is just like people who have never been in the Injustice games before, who I think would be either would play awesome, have at least been in the comics, and Rain has at least been super supportive in helping with like because Rain started reading year 0, I think, and was just like, hey, there's actually these like fun characters in the comics that would be great. But yeah, it was like, yeah, so it'd be fun just like seeing who else is in the comics that has the potential of playing super fun. So we're going to move on to that. I'm reading The Dawn of DC. Okay. I thought you were reading some of Injustice at one point. All right. But here we go with the start of brand new characters, and I'm just going to say to the people who saw the Superman movie, there was that one scene that played in the movie, and after I saw that, I'm like, okay, I want this character to so badly be in the next Injustice, and I hope he makes it in. Mr. Terrific. I think he would be so dope as a character. Like, using his orbs in combat and stuff like that. He would be super dope. Very underappreciated. I'll have to check that out then. Necron is the main villain. I wish I knew more of who Necron was. I said Beast Boy, let's bring it to life. But yeah, here, don't worry. We're still moving along. Here's just the first one, Mr. Terrific. I think he'd just be a fun gadget character they could work with. But yeah, no, I think that he would be a super fun character. And I know because a lot of people have been saying it, yes, he is on my list. Dale, I know you're happy about this, and I can't wait to see you rock your Dale, rock your Beast Boy, not your Dale, at Yumacon. But yep, Beast Boy is actually on my list, and I was so disappointed that he didn't make it into Injustice 2. After seeing like fun characters with like morphing, like especially the animality tech that they have, or just like the fun spots, like the fun things that they were able to do with MK11 and then MK1, I was like, how did they not get someone like Beast Boy in yet? Like, for an example, like how T1000 can manipulate his body. It's like, what if it's down 2, he just turns into like an eagle that does the uppercut, then he like morphs back in, and then like he could do like the Jaguar charge like Orchid does in Killer Instinct, just so all of his movesets could just be him turning into other animals. I'm like, that'd be so fun. That'd be super dope. All right, Horror Master's excited for Beast Boy. Necron is basically Cosmic Zombie Wizard Master gateway character to Blackest Night, essentially. Okay. So, pretty cool is what it is then. pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, Beast Boy over the Teen Titans. Yeah, we can just scrap the Teen Titans and we'll just keep Beast Boy then. That's what we'll do. Would Watchmen characters count as guests because they are DC characters just from a different timeline? Well, technically they're DC characters, so I think they would count. He would be so interesting to see how he would fight. Yeah, like I can imagine like his super, well, because they put him in Injustice 2 Mobile, and you could see how like they kind of took some stuff from there. It's like, or maybe just like update it and change it up a little bit, make it fit like a better fighter, like especially like a one with a lot more money behind it. Luck West, thank you for coming. Happy to see that you made it here tonight. There's where signs of transformation stuff with Kotal Khan turning into a jaguar, so it can work. That was the other character I was drawing a complete blank on. Yeah, they could literally like lift that entire animation, like biting the neck, maybe just less blood and just make it sweat like they did in Mortal Kombat Classic. Just do something like that. But yeah, I think they could easily try and do something like that. They did people morphing into stuff already with Mortal Kombat, so I feel like they can do a big task like adapt Beast Boy into this at least. Guest character Soldier Boy. I see a lot of people putting stuff for Soldier Boy lately. I think that'd be interesting. All right. Watchmen would fit in the spirit of guest characters. Okay. All right. That's interesting then. Would Batman, if they went Arkham route, be Azrael Batman? That would be, I'd think that'd be more of like a premiere skin. Because I think it's either, I thought they were going to do a premiere skin for Robin as Azrael, which would have been really cool. But maybe if not, do it for Batman. When we get to DLC characters, I have one pick, and this might be a shocker, but I want to wait until we get to DLC, Nick. You will be surprised. Okay, well, yeah, we have a few more slots, and then we'll get there. No worries. All right. And then we have our next DLC pick. Or not DLC. We're not on DLC yet. I know a lot of people were saying it's definitely happening early on in the stream, but whether you're here for it or not, it's probably happening. The character's super popular. It's Big John Cena. Yeah, I'd say what's his name is going to be here. Peacemaker. The only thing that they'd have to do is just make him more PG-13. I'd say that's like the only obstacle they would have to do. They'll have to do something like that because I feel like as MK11 or MK1, they were able to perfectly portray him because he's super violent and he talks a lot of smack. So it's like, yeah, of course, like he fits that world so well. And the fact that they had John Cena in it play the role, that made it even better. But will they have the budget to hire John Cena again to do the voice? Will they, or will it just be someone else completely different? Will they like change up the design? Will it be based off the movie, or will it be a completely different, will they just do something else with it? But I think because the character's super popular because of the TV series, which I still need to watch season 2. No spoilers, please, because I still want to read it, or watch it. And because of Suicide Squad, and just overall, he was a cameo in the Superman movie. He's probably going to make it in there. I'd say just maybe you work something better with his gun at least. Honestly, I'm fine with that. John's too good in the role. Yeah, he's too good. I'd say, yeah, it would be weird if he's not there, but I'd be happy if he was. Peacemaker, yes, yeah, better luck next time, Sonic. Oh my god. All right, so yeah, I feel a lot of people are on a good, are happy with it. So, all right, guest character Judge Dredd. Okay, I'd say because we have Peacemaker in here, it'd be fun to see how they could make them play different, because like in terms of frame, they feel similar. But that's just my takeaway with it. I'm gonna scroll this up a little bit. I just realized I had it down a little while, probably because of the giant characters who were taking it over. All right, who would I have next on my list of characters? All right, next on the brand new, I think this would be interesting because I know they like to introduce newer characters here and there. Just because, like, oh yeah, like for an example, like they added Cheetah in Injustice 2, and then they had Killer Frost, who was just like a fun archetype character. And then I feel like ever since what's it called? They had Captain Cold and Sub-Zero in the same game. It's like, okay, that just feels a little weird, but I do think if they're gonna do something, I would like to see this character at least make it in some way. I think she'd be pretty cool. It was interesting that she had like a small role in, like she was in Birds of Prey. Like that was my introduction to the character, but I think she'd be fun in terms of gameplay, just kind of like gadget like in a way. It has like a bunch of tools to use and whatnot. Peyton Hall, my day was good. Thank you for asking. Just a long, busy day. Very productive though. But no, happy to be hanging out with all of you guys tonight. Sorry if I seem a little lower energy. I just did 10 burpees that were very deceptive, as history had said in the chat. But yeah, I feel good. I feel wonderful, and I'm happy to be hanging out with all of you all. All right, hoping for John Constantine or Plastic Man to be in the next game. Honestly, I thought after they saw the weird stretch thing they did with Martian Manhunter in Injustice 1, I was like, they could easily do that with Plastic Man if they want to. But you know, I thought that would have worked. But another character who I'd like to see, and kind of coming back to just saying like, hey, we talked about this earlier, remember that, and because it's having a movie coming soon, and I would like to see them kind of take this as a challenge of like how they could make this character play. Giant, oh my god. I would love to see Clayface, honestly. I think this could be a huge challenge if they wanted to do this, because I don't know if you guys knew this. There is that Clayface body horror movie that's coming out, I think next year or the following year. Yeah, so I think if they wanted to make this character like Aganos from Killer Instinct Season 2, and if anyone knows what I'm talking about, yeah, if they like wanted to make him where he like clumps like clay or whatever, like he has a spike ball or can make walls so he can kind of trap people and do something like that, I think they could easily make Clayface super fun, kind of give him like that Doomsday armor or whatever, but just his in trade-off, he is slow as hell or whatever. Yeah, he has a horror movie, that's what it is. Basil Carlo, yeah. Lore accurate Clayface, and then he just turns into the opponent, or he just turns into Bruce Wayne, and he starts doing heists. I just got to that episode with Rain in the Batman animated series. But yeah, no, I think he'd be awesome. Got killed by Wonder Woman, but also comics, baby. Death doesn't really ever matter. Yeah, you're right about that. Nice video idea. I will pin that one. That is a really good idea. But yeah, I think that would be really fun. T-1000 but a tank. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at, but I was just reaching the word count is what you could say. I was really hoping for Killer Croc or Clayface. I'm happy. I think it's going to be one or the other at this point. And we also need like a big hulking dude, because I feel like we had Grodd in Injustice 2, we had Lex Luthor, and I think we had someone else in Injustice 1, so I feel like it'd be nice to have two big dudes once again or something. But yeah, I think he would be a lot of fun. And then another character who would be super fun that's also brand new to the series, and I think if we wanted to have, if not either Darkseid be the main villain, we could try this guy too, like another powerhouse. Let me just find a good image of this guy. All of these images, this dude's just giant. Hopefully this isn't gonna make the screen go super large or whatever. But yeah, here we go. I think if we want to have another threat like Brainiac, almost like another like threat, I think this guy would be very interesting. I don't know a whole lot about him. I just read a tiny synopsis and I was like, yeah, this guy could be interesting. And I know a lot of people said they'd love to see him. And that's and that's what's it called? Anti-Monitor. I think he would be really cool. Um, okay, we need a Terminator-like character in this game, so why not be a good time to bring in Metallo? Oh, that's a good one. I actually do know who Metallo is at least. Um, Doomsday and Solomon Grundy were. Oh, that was the other one. Doomsday and Solomon Grundy. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting someone. The perfect equal villain to Darks. Yes, that would be cool. All right, cool. So I think people are down for Anti-Monitor at least. Mongol would be interesting. All right. I think we need more elemental characters then. All right. I know that this is one that had popped up in the comics, and here's my last pick we can go with. I'm assigning you homework, good sir. Okay. Um, okay, so I'm gonna say this right now. I had Pariah as my last character on here. So do we do Pariah or do we do Necron at this point as like the final character? Because I know we need more villains. Is what we do need more villains, so that's why I'm leaning more towards like Necron and someone who's at least more elemental and can make it more interesting. Trigon, okay. I see someone with Trigon. Hold that thought though. Yeah, I saw a picture of the CW Anti-Monitor and I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Swamp Thing, Pariah. All right. I think if we want to get weird with it, we can include someone like Pariah, just because it's like an out and like a far out of left field type of pick. Because my DLC lineup that I do have is quite interesting, but that's also what this like extra columns on the side are for. Is like the all right, yeah. Here's some of the weirdo characters, or like either weird picks that you guys would like to include, or just characters that would be like, oh, I never thought of them. We could try them out and see what happens. Yeah, CW Anti-Monitor sucks without the multiverse BS. So here's the thing. You're saying the thing. You can't really do Necron without doing the Blackest Night story. They go hand in hand with each other, so it depends on how you want to make your roster or story. So, okay, what you're getting at is it sounds like if I am going to do Necron, it would have to be DLC and it would just be like the weirdest what if. So, yeah, you can't really do Necron as like a lackey or something like that. If it's anything less, it might feel a little watered down. So, yeah, I'd say if anything, make it a DLC thing. I might just do that then. All right, so I think I'll just do Pariah as the final character unless anyone wants to like vote against that. Um, Dom would triple down on the multiverse story. Plot twist, it's this. Plot twist, it's this multiverse. And then it's this one coming in. And then somehow multiverses comes back. Oh god, that would be something. Oh god. I'm kind of done with the multiverse now. I just want something simple, like not super multiversal. Ever since MK11 and MK1 jumping into the multiverse, it was messing with me too much. Trying to find a good image of this guy. All right. Pariah is the last pick for base roster. Yeah, I know many of you are probably wondering, where was Captain Carrot? Where was this person? He's like a big villain. So, and it's one of those things where if it's like anything less, it might be a disservice. Got to do the character justice. Yeah, that makes sense. If I'd feel it would make more sense if they did. Yeah, I'd say it would make more sense like if he were like the main villain if they did an entire story arc around it. So yeah, that makes sense. Multiverses into the Justice Verse. How about something like Starro or Trigon? Starro would be isn't Starro just like a weird blobby thing that's like huge? like in Suicide Squad, or like the small things that were in that one stage in the first Injustice. Do they like actually like scale in size crazily or whatever? Um, don't know, but I don't know who, but I agree with the person. I repeat it. Guest character Jackie Estacado from The Darkness. I Why does that sound so familiar? Hang on a second. I gotta look at this. Jackie Estacado. Okay. Oh yeah, I know who this is. This guy is now. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That was a throwback right there. Yeah. It's the dude with like the four guns, but he has like the weird like demon powers or whatever. Yeah. That was a throwback right there. Um. All right. Now we're gonna go into DLC territory. We can change all of this after it's all done. I'm gonna say that right now, so don't worry. Not all of this is final. Now, here's one character that was referenced in Injustice 2, who was rumored to be in Injustice 2, and then it didn't happen. And I was like, come on. And of all people, when I was playing the first or the second Injustice, my dad randomly asked me, he was like, hey, DC, do they happen to have this character in it? If they do, let me know. That would be cool. And of all people that my dad got super excited about, he just loved Constantine for whatever reason. And I think that he would be. I think he just deserves to be in Injustice at this point. He already exists in the universe. So I'd say just give him a chance to like be playable and just kind of give him like magic powers and stuff like that, because I know that's all he is. So like cool. He can actually fight people like Superman and stuff like that. We need Neo from the Matrix. Fun fact, Horror Master, according to Ed Boon, that almost happened. He almost was DLC, but apparently it fell through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? Just to make it more sane on me. Never mind, I'm not doing that. I'm just going in order. So as I had mentioned, going into this, because I'm gonna try and be realistic when it comes to like the guest picks, just knowing NRS's track record and just that's what I'm going with at least, and just people who feel like they're realistic picks. Lucifer Morningstar. I don't know who that is. GI Robot, we need to send a message. Oh god. Only if it's in that universe from Homeland, not Homelander, Peacemaker Season 2. That's the only thing I know about Peacemaker Season 2. I was my goat Blue Beetle. Yeah, he was awesome. Static Shock. Okay. I do see a lot of people talking about Static Shock. I do think he needs to be in. We need the Mask. Oh god, I think he would work. He would sadly be toned down in Injustice because he's super violent. He would be like an awesome dream pick for he'd be an awesome dream pick for like Mortal Kombat because of how violent he is. Oh, someone said, doesn't John and Zatanna have a child in Injustice? I have no idea. I haven't read that far into the comics, so I have no idea. Would they just call him Static at this point in the story mode? Well, technically he was Black Lightning is DLC in Injustice 2, so maybe he would just be Black Lightning, unless they just want to do weird multiversal stuff and just be like, hey, here's Static, or just make it that the DLC wasn't canon at all. Didn't Ed Boon also want John Wick in a game? Yes, he did. Unfortunately, Keanu Reeves said that he doesn't want to be in Mortal Kombat, though. That's all I know. Okay. Reptosaurus King, how about we bring in Shredder for DLC? Sonic or Shadow for DLC? Manchester Black as DLC. Oh god, so many people. Lucifer's from Hazbin Hotel. Got it. Okay. I had no idea. Invincible, The Mask. Let's just add. That's it. Yes, we're gonna be as realistic as possible. I will be DLC in this. Yes, Nick DLC. Okay, 2 people are on board with this. We'll send a petition over to NRS and make it happen. Nah, John had a kid with someone else. It's hinted that he lives with her and Zatanna in the House of Mystery. Okay. Condiment King for DLC. Um, I'm seeing people as joke. Okay, I would say if we realistically had Condiment King, they would probably put a joke character in the base roster because I think people would be pissed if you had to pay for a joke character. Um, Nick, honestly, since the last two MKs got one DC guest each, I think we only need one MK rep, and it has to be Liu Kang. Oh yeah, because we had a Peacemaker and Joker in MK11, and Peacemaker in MK1, Joker in MK11. Weirdly enough, though, I don't think Joker was the plan because it was supposed to be Ash Williams. I feel like MK DLC is inevitable. You are right, Dale, because they literally make both games. Wait, Nick and Rain could play like the TMNT. Yes. Yeah, that'd be something. That would be super fun. And then we just be like in cosplay clothing. That's all it would be. um, what about Cage? All right, pre-order character Condiment King. Yes, now we're cooking. We need to send this to NRS right now. They will know that NRS fans are totally sane. Um, I think MK rep should be Katana and Cage. Damn it. All right, next on the DLC lineup. So I'm just going with 8 here because I know they did 9, technically 10 if you want to count the pre-order bonus, but I'm just going with 8 because it would just be easier that way. But yeah, someone else said it earlier, and I think it'd be fun to have this character in here as well. I don't know how they'd fit in the story, so that's just how I have them in here, unless they do something where it's like, oh, like they are going to do like a time travel story, but do they really want to do a time travel story? Because that's going to get super complex. But anyway, I would love to see this character in Injustice. I do think Booster Gold would be awesome. Yeah. We already saw how Garrus can do time travel, stuff like that. We all want Cole Young. Yes, that's what we need. I still say Pepsi Man. Okay. All right. Ed Boon teased Watchmen during Injustice 2, but maybe Rorschach would be from Mortal Kombat. Honestly, I feel like the one person from, or the two that they could pull from Watchmen if they wanted to, if they wanted a gadget and a power character, it would be Dr. Manhattan and Rorschach because they're like the two most recognizable characters. I wish copyright wasn't so strict. Yeah, me too. If it were like much more loose, then we could have people like the Care Bears in here or something. That would be awesome. Uh, all right. DLC lineup: Liu Kang, Sonic or Shadow, He-Man, and Power Rangers. Yes, freaking He-Man. There is a He-Man movie coming out, so they did cross. Apparently, He-Man's crossed over with DC before, so that's something out here. Peyton exposing Nick out here. Nick's favorite Melina costume is the MK9 flesh he doesn't want Rain to know. Oh man. Next it's going to be I'm being doxxed, isn't it? Two guest characters should be Deadpool and Ghost Rider. That is if Disney and Marvel would ever allow it. It could work. Booster even went back in time from a possible future to watch his Injustice Self dive. Time travel, baby. Yo! Alright, yeah, so time travel isn't too wacky in this universe. Tristan, I see you talk about Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Raiden. Ed Boon doesn't really like to repeat DLC characters except for Rain that one time, so that was weird. But I'm kind of going off of that rule that he doesn't do it, and also because it's repeating a guest character, I don't think it's likely. So I'm just gonna go with that. We're just gonna stick with like OG characters instead, or at least brand new guest characters at least. Well, Injustice did have a comic spinoff. That's what it was. Okay, I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. And He-Man crossed with the Superman Injustice 2 winning. Okay. They should make a Marvel game and then do a Marvel versus DC game. Apparently that was rumored back in like 2020 or something like that. That was an insane time to be paying attention to like gaming news for a while. So now time to get back to DLC territory. I know someone mentioned this character earlier. And I don't know if they would be like base roster material character, but I think they would be fun as a DLC pick because they're so weird, but they could do so much. And especially because we have someone on the main roster that knows who this person is. They had a little cameo in Injustice 1, but I'd be down to see Trigon or Trigon. I don't know how you say it. Yeah, Trigon would be awesome. The Try Guys. Uh, how about Team Ruby? I don't know anything about Ruby, unfortunately. Um, if NRS made a Marvel fighting game, they should include Ursa Major. I'm blanking on Ursa Major. Joe Biden is DLC. Yeah, his projectile, it just throws ice cream at people. His chocolate chip or whatever he likes to say it was. I agree that repeating DLC loses its mystique, like Street Fighter and Tekken. Yeah, that is my biggest complaint with Street Fighter, or not Street Fighter. Tekken 8, that like literally so many of the characters are just DLC from the last game, and it's like, oh come on. I had to change my donation punishment to this. Use your MK character you want to play as it's with the worst costume. Okay. Just make sure you put that in the donation thing on my community tab. Suhao and Cobra and Injustice over. You're about to start a fight with the MK community with that language there. I do know who Spectre is. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, that would be interesting. All right. We have one more DC character on here. And I saw someone put them in here earlier. This is an amazing picture, and I'm going to use this one. This picture is so cursed. I love it. Plastic Man's just striking the "you like jazz" pose. Yeah. Hell, imagine Armor King and Injustice. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to use him as DLC over and over again. Yeah. But yeah. So here's the 4 DC representatives I have as DLC. You have John Constantine, or Constantine, Booster Gold, Trigon, and Plastic Man. All right. So what do we think of everyone so far? Ragman, Spectre, or Deadman? Having to pay for Anna and Armor King again hurts. Dude, I know. You don't know. I literally was about to write a script or just have a random rant while I was at Space Dive. And I was like, dude, why is Armor King DLC again? I was so like pissed about it, following the fact that it was like Anna, and then it was Anna, then Fakuram, and then Armor King. I'm like, why are they repeating the lineup again? I was so upset. Too hero heavy. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can tweak it a little bit. All right. Great. Loving the list. Blue Beetle as DLC. I loved him in Injustice 2. You think he should be DLC? That's something. How about Cooking Mama or Bomberman? Oh my god. That'd be something. Pretty cool so far. We cooking. Don't know. I'm gonna buy the $100 deluxe version yet. All right. Well, let's get to MK Guest 1. Okay, I guess. Well, let's see if this is gonna change your mind then, because as many of you probably saw coming, Injustice likes to add Mortal Kombat characters as DLC. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna make it in. I feel like he's the right pick for this, honestly. But yeah, MK guest character number 1 is Johnny Cage. I think Johnny Cage. I was gonna say Johnny Cage definitely fits. They could make him, but I say if they do it, make it more of like the MK 11 timeline one, where he has like the green energy he can use and like the like Mediterranean ancestry powers. Uh, because like in MK1 he was super fun, but it's like he's so rushed down, but he doesn't have like the stuff I remember with him as much as like the one that I'm used to. Like he still had the splits and the nut punch and everything like that. But that'd be super funny if one of his like gear pieces is like kryptonite knuckle dusters, so he can like punch Superman in the balls or something. That'd be so cool. If Lyndon Ashby voiced him again, that'd be awesome. But it's probably gonna be Andrew Bowen, I think is his name. Yeah, I think it would be him. Ooh, okay. Luck West, you put a very interesting one there. My boy, also Cobra. Either his MK11 or MKX design. I was gonna say if they went with his MK11 past, I'd be fine with that. That'd be really cool. The Arkham Lantern, Invincible, and Power Ranger gear for Rangers would get insanely hard. It would literally be the Ninja Turtles all over again. Nut punches Wonder Woman. He just goes for he goes for like the inner, like the thigh. I don't know. They'll figure something out. That already just punches her right in the stomach, like he goes in and then just goes, like that instead. All right. Now we're gonna make it interesting, and I'm gonna go to the comic book guest character here, because it's usually just MK, especially with Injustice, how they set it up. It's MK comic. So we had 2 and 2, but I'm just gonna make it more of a surprise where it's like, hey, we get one, then we get the other. So here's the first one. I think this would be fun. The only thing that would make it interesting is how they're going to translate the character into like a live action setting, unless they want to go with like a comic booky art style. And I already know history behind the Warrior. I'm kind of curious to know where your thoughts are on this, because I know this is like one of your favorite comics ever. I know that there's that Invincible fighting game coming out soon. But I think he would be fun, honestly, Invincible. Like being the one to try and take on Superman or something. I'm just saying Carl Urban Premier Skin would go hard. I know that would go insane. He-Man, we can debate on that one, because this is just what I have right now, but like as I mentioned, this is subject to change. She-Ra, that would be interesting. Oh, this is a given for me, 100%. Okay, I got the approval from the Invincible fan over here. But yeah, we already had Omni-Man in MK1, and we already know with like I forgot the guy's name again, but it's like Roger Craig or something like that. I'm forgetting his name, but the guy who owns Invincible, it's literally just talk to him, so it's easy. Well, don't forget, we never gotten a live action Omni-Man either, so they could easily nail it. Yeah, and they did a good job with live action Omni-Man. So yeah, I could see that they could do that easily. I have to got this. I still need to see Invincible. I've only seen the first few episodes. I'm trying to rent the comics from my local library just so I can check it out. Carson, how the hell are they gonna do Sonic or Shadow? They're so small. Wasn't Invincible supposed to be a cameo? Was he supposed to be? If so, that would have been cool. And then that's how they could have explained, like, because I know they talked about having DLC or guests as cameos, and that would probably be the only way that we could get Chucky the Killer Doll into Mortal Kombat, because I know a lot of people want to have him in, apparently. Robert Kirkman, that's his name. Sorry, I completely butchered the name. Okay, yeah, just connect with Robert Kirkman. I know they're doing the Invincible Versus game, which I still want to check out when that comes out. I wish I got to download the beta, but I'll be gone that weekend, so I mean, not much of a loss there on my part. I'll just check it out later. Support your libraries, yes. Plastic Man is such a small picture makes him look like Max Goo from Goofy. He kind of does. I did not mean to do that. I'm almost done with Invincible. No spoilers, please. I need to know what. I mean, I already know what happens at the end of the first episode, because it was everywhere. All right, and I know people. All right, I just want to wrap this up because I don't want to keep everyone waiting. But everyone was talking about this early on about the next guest character in here, but I think they would be a lot of fun as a guest character, and I would love to see them join the world of Injustice. I think Katana would be fun. I think Katana would be cool. Um, what about Thomas Wayne Batman as a non-guest character? I'd say just make that a premiere skin for Batman at that point. Make that more like the violent Batman. I think that would be the only way that could work. That would actually work because I feel he'd be way too similar to our traditional Batman. Katana in all her elegance. I won't spoil anything, Nick. I promise. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. But yeah. Also, the other reason I want to see Katana in um, Injustice, I think, should be fun. She's already been in MK versus DC, so they could make the fans like just be sparks that fly off them when he hits them, or when she hits them. But the other thing is, it'd be nice to actually have like a lady guest character. We never had like a lady guest in any NRS game, and I think should be awesome. I know there were discussions to have like Buffy the Vampire Slayer at one point in one of the Mortal Kombats, but that fell through. And it's like, if you want to make it work, easiest way to make it work is just get Katana in there. Katana isn't as popular as Liu Kang. I'd argue and say that Katana is more popular than Liu Kang, honestly. Yeah, I mean, she could easily do like the Melina side throw if they want to make the gear thing, or give her Jade's staff. And then they can write the lore in as that like Liu Kang sent them over from his weird like fire god form. So it's like, yeah, like they could make it work. But yeah, so yeah, I could see Katana being super fun. And it would just be nice to have an actual lady representative in something. Just make Katana go back to stealing fellow female ninja moves. Yes, MKX Katana. That's pretty much it. That's all we need to do. Give her Melina's ball roll and stuff like that. That would be awesome. And then the last comic guest character, continuing the theme of, hey, we had one of the characters before. Why not add another one from the same universe? And our last one, it's a villain. All right. Shredder. Shredder would be awesome. She has a hoarding problem. They could give her a Talia al Ghul skin. Honestly, they could if they wanted to. That'd be interesting. Get two characters in one. But yeah, Shredder. That's the other comic guest character. I think that would be great. Shredder. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. So I see two people talking about Shredder in here. But yeah, I think he'd be fun. He even got to fight Batman in that Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. So it's like, yeah, like just kind of make him like an interesting like multi-weapon character or whatever. I almost forgot our old and good Shredder. The sad thing is it won't be Uncle Phil doing the voice. Yeah, Shredder would be awesome. I just love Shredder's design so much, and I think seeing him in a fighting game would be awesome. That's not TMNT Tournament Edition. I think it would just be awesome seeing him in like a fighting game, like a big budget one, like a comic book fighting game like Injustice. He'd be awesome. I could honestly see Shredder in both Injustice and a Mortal Kombat game since he's brutal. Yeah, I saw a lot of people say that Shredder would be awesome in Mortal Kombat. Just my thing is like, I don't know how they'd make him work in a super violent game like that. But I thought, okay, if they want to do guest characters that are comic book characters, Shredder's an awesome person to put in there. All right. But yeah, so I'd say that yeah, Shredder is a good pick, honestly. But yeah, here's my hypothetical roster and a lot of the input that I got from you guys too. But yeah, here's what we have. Anyone that we should replace entirely that you think? Someone send this list to NetherRealm Studios now. Someone just tweet Ed Boon. Anyone who's not blocked by him, that would be wonderful. Tomorrow is the release of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Edition. Yes, I do have it pre-ordered already. I got to pre-install it, and I will be streaming it tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that, Peyton. More details to come on that. Okay, so we have the yellow slots here. Everyone, chat, just go wild, and whatever names I see that pop in there, I will throw in as like our meme picks. How about that? Okay, because I saw someone put it in there. He was a guest character before. We can have it happen again. I'm hearing the music in my head right now. Ding 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 ding. Pepsi Man. We're just memeing it out right now, okay? All right, I saw it. Thank you for the input there. Hey, it's Bruin or Chip. Thank you, Pepsi Man. He's gonna be in Injustice 3. All right. Crypto the Super Dog. No, we can't beat up animals. We're not gonna beat up dogs. As long as the Pepsi Man theme plays, that's gonna be the hurdle when it comes to getting the license for the character. Is just making sure that we have to get the music and the people to perform it. And even the guy who's like in between all the commercials, like Pepsi TV game or whatever. All right, Shadow or Sonic over Johnny or meme pick. I'd be down for Mira to get a Hydromancer in there. Mira, you know what? We'll throw that in there too. Water characters would be cool if they changed it up. Just make sure it's not an Amber Heard. I feel like that was the only thing kind of holding it back originally, because someone decided to be problematic. All right. His name is Eddie. Dr. Psycho, Damien as Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul would have been cool as DLC, but I think the only thing holding it back for me would be too many Batman characters. We don't beat you animals once Beast Boy in. Whoa. You were twisting my words around right there. He's technically a person, not an animal. Sonic the Hedgehog. All right. We're seeing the demand for Sonic a lot in here. Carson, you mad lad. Toilets exist for a reason. For a second when I read toilet, the first thing that came to my head was including Skibbity Toilet as a guest character. Peyton, you beat me to it. Yeah, okay, yeah, people are messing with me on that one. Vandal Savage for bad guy? Who is Vandal Savage? I gotta look at that. Okay, Horror Comic Nerd has put it in here a couple times. I need to do this now. And also one of my good friends, Brock, as I'm going to refer to him as, he also said that this person needs to be in when I was making my initial list. So let's throw him in there. Okay. I feel good with that one. I could see like his weird mask being a thing. I need the blue blur over Johnny Cage or meme pick. A Power Ranger would be perfect. Unfortunately, yeah, that's the sad thing. It wouldn't be the same with the person playing Green Ranger. Mary Marvel for some Shazam representative. Is that one of the sisters? I'd argue Neo Metal Sonic if we had one Sonic rep. Yeah, his ultimate could be him turning into Metal Overlord and just shooting a blast at you or whatever. Mirror Master for Flash. Su Hao, the ultimate troll would be adding Shao Kahn and making him crazy expensive. Yeah, and then he only has special moves to sit down. Nick, you and I are going to sit down and have a long discussion about all these characters being brought up. I got you, buddy. You're a real mad lad. Thank you. Parasite, Circe for Wonder Woman, Mary Marvel, Lars Fleece for Green Lantern, Baby Shao Kahn and his Baby Shao Kahn. Okay, I gotta look up this character. I keep seeing Horror Master put it in there. Let me just see who this is. Oh, this is total joke character stuff, but it could be fun. Um, what even is this guy? Okay, this picture, the fact that he's on top of Superman, it works for me. All right, you know what? You won me over just looking up who this guy is. um, yep, Dr. Psycho. It's it's either him or Mr. Mizixplick or whatever his name is, something like that. It's like a mix of like letters. Voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. Honestly, a lot of these are really good choices. Thanks, Luck. That means a ton. Has anyone said Plastic Man? Grand Mental. Yeah, he's in here. He's next to Johnny Cage. He's striking the you like jazz and you come here often pose at the bottom. Killer Frost would be okay. Killer Frost, yeah, because we don't have any ice characters. Yeah. I think it would make more sense to have an ice character be in the base roster. So did we cut someone from the base roster and put Killer Frost instead? I'm dumb, half paying attention while cleaning. Brother, that's me. I thought it was the average Twitter user. Oh god, the brain rot. This is so the face that Dr. Psycho gives is, yo, did you see this video? They're actually doing this in real life, and it's something from like Sora AI, and they completely believe it. Who calls it X? They actually call it X, while everyone calls it Twitter. Killer Frost. Okay. Do we remove someone from the main roster and put Killer Frost? Because I think that she definitely deserves a spot. Now that I think about it, she definitely deserves a spot. How much do you want to bet they're going to add Judo Master to the roster because gun? I don't know. Mr. Freeze be the ice character. My only complaint with that is we have too many Batman characters at that point. So I'd say we could try and do Killer Frost. I'd take Orion or Big Barda. Okay. Vigilante. Vigilante is DLC. That could be a fun clash with Peacemaker, or at least include him in Peacemaker's super move or playlist. Remove Cyborg for Freeze. I think Cyborg cements himself as a main roster character. Pronounces mix yes spitlick. Okay, thank you. I knew I busted that up. Nick, my soul is yours if you replace Johnny Cage. We are not replacing Johnny Cage. I'm sorry, that's happening. Keep her DLC because money. Keep what's her name? Killer Frost. Cyborg 2 integral. Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely a core Justice League member that deserves to be there. Telling Nick to replace Johnny Cage is like asking him to replace his firstborn son. Lamau. Blue Beetle, please. I will. We don't need to go there. I have runner's feet. You don't want to know what that's like. Katana Frost. Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. Killer Frost. I'm putting her on the base roster. Replace Cyborg with Batwoman. All right. We have okay. Remember, we have two more spots just on the regular roster. Could do Jack Frost. Yeah, that's his real name. Roster needs a jobber character in some way to lose. Wait, is that really Killer Frost's real name? Is it really Jack Frost? On the DC side, like, do you mean like Taz when you say Tasmanian Devil? I feel like Peacemaker for Killer Frost only because people might think it's too soon between MK1. That's a good take you have there. Just my only thing is if it's not John Cena, then I think it's fine. If they make the gameplay very different, then I think people will be okay with it. Martian Manhunter. I'd have to make him base roster then. Okay, more I think about it. Little no, different one. Oh, okay. Thank you. I need to read up more on my DC. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Do I move? I thought about this honestly, and I thought it would be risky. Do we move Joker as DLC? Yeah, it's a shame that Batman does have really good villains. Like I know that we're not gonna have Penguin as a villain, like as a playable character, so I don't think it would happen. Give me Kite Man. But there is a DC character named Jack who lost her powers, whose power is indeed ice. He's very lame. Okay, so was it like, oh yeah, Kite Man is Charles Brown, right? The guy who falls into a tree and says rats or whatever. Caitlin Snow. Joker is DLC. I feel like people would have a fit either way. Oh my god. Yes, no, this is getting hard. Okay, you know what? Jokers will go work with the Clown Cafe with Art the Clown. Yeah. All right. I guess it would help balance out the villains in DLC at least. So, this is getting risky. Uh, and the crazy thing is, another reason why I think Joker should be DLC, he doesn't have that much involvement in the story. And secondly, people will buy it. He's DC's most popular villain, so probably not. Uh, Replace Joker with another villain. Nick, I need Blue Beetle's in here. Peyton, he's in here. He's right next to Hot Girl. And in between 1A. The real question is, how would it affect the base story? Because all base character typically get some used in some capacity. With Booster Gold, I wonder if he's going to be like the reason that we get like characters moved around or whatever, where it's like, all right, like that's how we can explain like dead characters coming back, like Lex if they want to bring him back in some way, um or if they wanted to like undo the brainwashing that happens to Batman if they go with one ending or something. But no, I think they could do something. um oh, Tasmanian Devil's an actual DC character. Hang on, I gotta look at this up now. Tasmanian Devil. Oh my God, what is this guy? He looks like a Werewolf by Night or Weasel on steroids. Oh my God. Uh, that would be an oddball pick, kind of like Pariah. So you know what? The more I think about it, I'm not feeling Pariah anymore. Honestly, I think Anti Monitor's kind of big enough as is. I think we can just remove Pariah and put Joker over there instead. I think Joker does deserve to be on base roster. The more I think about it, people will rage too much. All right. Okay. We need another DLC. We need another DLC from DC. Who's that next to Mira? That's either Rorschach or John Constantine. Nick, replace Katana with Sonic. As I said, I'm already keeping 2 Mortal Kombat guest characters. I'm keeping them on here. It seems like that's what's going to happen. Leto Joker is insane. Joker could possibly be pre-order bonus. Honestly, I'd be fine with that. Watch it be Jared Leto. No! I don't want it to be Jared Leto. He'll say it's joking time or whatever. All right. Blue Beetle, Jamie, or Ted. Okay, you know what? Just because we do need an ice-based character in some way, I do think we need Killer Frost back, actually. And I didn't know she was part of the Suicide Squad. And here's her Injustice design, which I completely forgot is kind of cool. I did not mean to make that pun. I'm so sorry. Okay. I think Killer Frost is a good DLC pick, honestly. And it helps balance out with hero, villain, gray area, but also heroic, hero, villain. I think it balances out a little bit. But yeah, I'd say Killer Frost DLC. It should be a new design for Joker based off comics, but they can offer Leto a design in the shop if people want it. Yeah, I think that could work, because as long as it's not like the face model, or at least like the mannerisms of Jared Leto's Joker, that'd be fine. Because some parts of Leto's Joker I thought were fine attempts. I think it's just overall, I just didn't like the execution in the end. Joaquin Phoenix Joker, but he only speaks in song. He would method act in the booth all the time. That would be something. Replace Shredder with someone else, or someone else with Sonic. My soul is yours. How about Elvis? So was his projectiles going to be he just throws peanut butter and banana sandwiches? I'm actually going to put that in the meme category. Why not? All right. This is what happens when I let my friends come into the chat here. Elvis the pelvis with his super long legs. That's what we're gonna get. And he has a parry with his guitar. Bobo T Chimpanzee. That was such a fun string of words to say. I should have said Fred Durst. Yeah, he'll be in another fighting game like Fight Club. Yeah. If Sonic was in Injustice, they'd make it the Sonic movie design from the Sonic 2019 trailer. Yeah, and none of us want that. He did so terrible because it wasn't Morbin time. Bowser, okay. Swamp Thing has a movie coming out in a few years, so they might want to have the Swamp Thing tie-in. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Just, I hope they rework his gameplay. He was awful in Injustice 2. I thought he was like the absolute worst character. Elvis the Pelvis took me out. Give me Sonic in the meme category. I don't care. I want him. Do we really round out, because so far we have 3 DLCs in the chat category, and then we have 2 guest characters being Pepsi Man and Elvis Presley. Do we just close it out with like Sonic the Hedgehog? Is that what we do, or is there anything else we do? Danny Fenton? Oh crap, they're non-binary actually. Oh, Envoy? Okay. They're very cool. Okay. Kim Possible. Oh yeah, I forgot about Swamp Thing. Um, I forgot about Swamp Thing too. Sue Howe's severed head. How about we bring it back from the other roster? Yeah, I forgot I did that at one point. Edward from Twilight. Dale. Oh my god. Bloodsport. No. Sue Howe. Gex. It's tail time. Mocapper meet Edward Cullen. Okay, we already, in quick succession, we have two different people who are asking for Edward Cullen. Um, man. Okay, our final pick. Oh, wrong thing. I looked up. Okay. Wait, no, we can't do hang on. Let me just see how this works real quick. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. The cast out of Spirit of MK 3D MK. Yeah, we'll just get mocap. That's what we need. Shaggy. Even if it was Suhao's hand, I would be happy. No, man, I need Sonic. Just do Sonic. Wait a minute. No, we can't do man. The problem is it's because man man would be a premiere skin for Batman. Unless someone does want to like create a concept for I'm buying 10 copies just for man. Oh my god. What have we done? Wouldn't man be a premiere? Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, same with Man is Bizarro Batman. All right. All right. Yep, you've we got to change it. All right. Thank you for coming out, Darko. Appreciate your support and appreciate you checking it out. Yep, man would be a premiere skin for Batman. Or we have to cut Batman and replace it with man. What a shame. All right, so we have either Man Bat would actually be cool. I think he would honestly only be like a stage interactable. I don't think many people know too much about him, and he's like very niche. Like it made sense to have Killer Frost in Injustice 1 because the CW show was going on at the same time. Add Space Ghost. Oh, that'd be something. I mean, it's sad that what's his name passed away, so I don't think we'd get the right voice. Sonic for the final. Dude, you really want Sonic. Replace Batman with a real bat. All right. Um, Incineroar from Pokemon would be funny. Yeah, Incineroar can be the final character for two fighting games now. This and Smash Brothers Ultimate, the base roster at least. Um, how about instead of Incineroar, it's Hippopotas instead. Nintendo exclusive for Incineroar. No, that's just leaning more for Incineroar. Killer Croc. Um, Diebeard from Peacemaker. I don't know who Diebeard is. Okay, my only thing with Killer Croc is that we have another big dude like Clayface. Unless they want to do something very different with both their play styles, then we could try and do something. Okay, realistically, I think I'm Realistically, I think I would have to cut Pepsi Man after all this time. If I wanted to have it the way I wanted to, I'd probably put like Frank West in here, honestly, from Dead Rising. But that's just dream. That's just what I want. We can't always have nice things. Uh, all right, let me just go through the comments again. I just want to see what some people were putting. Okay, I do see someone putting. Okay, I'm actually gonna try and be a little more realistic with like some of these final characters. Um, okay, you know what? Okay, meme pick is over here on this side. I'm actually gonna do this because I remember I said I would like this years ago. Um, and because the series, the characters are kind of hot at this point. Um, I think they would be fun in terms of like being in the world. All right, I guess this category is I guess yellow is season 2 if we really want to get extra characters in here. But yeah, King Shark I think would be dope. Would they ever add Reverse Flash again? He would just be a premiere skin. Dr. Phosphorus? Yeah, we can get weirdo characters in here. I think I'd put Dr. Phosphorus in here instead of Mara, so I think I will just cut Mara and put Dr. Phosphorus. Dr. Phosphorus. Yeah, this dude looks dope. I'd love to see what he would look like in a fighting game like Injustice. That'd be awesome. Okay. Sadly, I don't know if Doctor Psycho would actually make it in because I'm trying to be realistic where it's like 3 and 3 now for the extra characters. All right. Or we can do that, but I'll just do like 2 guests or something. So sorry, Elvis the Pelvis, you're gone. Um, Rip. Sorry. Suho for final. The closest thing we could visually get to Ghost Rider. Yeah, and his super could be him doing like the flying at you or something. That's the only thing I know about Dr. Phosphorus. And then his middle finger goes through someone's head and it just melts it. All right. No, I can't put Bloodsport in. Then we'd have too many Suicide Squad characters. Um, I thought about putting Bloodsport in. 2 more guest slots. One has to be. How about James Gunn himself? Yeah, they did a cameo of him in Rick and Morty, so yeah, they can do that. Um, sorry about Pepsi Man supremacy. Add Frank. Okay, no, I am not gonna be. I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that. Um. Okay. Let me just keep looking through here again. I'm trying to see what other people put. Um. Eat Popeyes to save Dr. Psycho. All right. You know what? Okay. Just because they have a movie coming up, I'm putting them in here. They think they would be a. Yeah. He-Man. He's going in there. We doing a cosmic character? We can. Yeah. Who's a cosmic character you can think of? That would be really cool. Right now I'm just huffing glue at this point. I don't know what I'm doing. Closest thing yeah. Martian Manhunter, Sinestro, or another Lantern. Who would be another good Lantern as like DLC? Should we do the Zekrom instead of Dr. Psycho? Just as DLC so we can at least like how do I spell that other dude again? I already forgot how. World Forger, Star Sapphire. I need to look up World Forger. Let's see. Alpheus? That's what shows up. Alpheus the World Forger? What in the hell is this thing? The thing is so cool looking. Is he like a side character or something? Larfleeze, Kyle Rayner instead of the Doctor. Larfleeze, Atrocitus. Blackhand. You know what? Because it'd be unique and we need like another villain, I'm gonna put Blackhand in here. Wrong thing that popped up when I Google imaged all of that. Oh my god. I actually read a little bit of this back in like high school. Like I actually want to read this again. I need to finish it actually. Okay. We got room for one more guest character. Please make a Pepsi Man fighter concept. That would be amazing. I'd see that. Sonic for the final guest character, please. I sent you an image of him in the server to use. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I remember these renders. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the other lanterns would just be premiere skins. They did a lot of premiere skins for the speedsters, so they could probably do something like that for the lanterns instead. The only doctor I've ever had. Really? Lucy from Cyberpunk. I'd be curious to know what Lucy would look like in like live action. Vandal Savage. Let me see who that is. Who is this guy? Oh my god. He kind of looks like Van Helsing a little bit. Mixed with like Michael Morbius. Metallo. Okay, who's Metallo again? Am I remembering the right person? This is the dude that can like use powers of like other people and he like scans, or am I thinking of someone else entirely? Because there was another. No, I don't. I'm thinking of the wrong person. Captain Planet. uh, would Batman Who Laughs be a premiere skin, or is he too different? I have no idea. Someone's gonna have to fill in that. I think that could be cool if he plays different enough, making him like a DLC character, and it would close out having more like villains. You could do Grail if we need a Wonder Woman villain that's aligned with Darkseid. We don't have a Wonder Woman villain. Yeah, we don't have Cheetah. We don't have Ares. Yeah, let me see Circe, because I think that could be interesting. Yeah, let me see how Circe looks. Yep, she a baddie. Okay, you know what? You sold me. Oh, she's also in Creature Commandos. Okay, so yeah, she kind of has relevance. Okay, I was. All right. The DC goons win again. I just saw it. I just saw the art, and I'm like, you know what? That's fine. We can do that. Okay, actually, because I realized it's 5 DC and. Okay, you know what? I think I might just go 6 DCs instead at this point. Maybe Captain Atom could be cool because I'd like to see like a growing person once again that's not Atom or yeah, Atom. Or do you mean Atom Smasher? All right. You know what? It's getting kind of late. I think I'm honestly good. So we are going to send this over to Ed Boon and the team. We are going to tell them that, yep, this is who we're going to add. This is who we want in Injustice. But yeah. We don't have it. No, we do. We have Killer Frost. We have Killer Frost in DLC. Atom Smasher would be sick. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna replace He-Man with Atom Smasher. How about that? Yeah, Atom Smasher. Okay. Ever since I saw him as a yeah, ever since I saw him as a stage interactable in Injustice 1, I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. I want him in something. But no, good point. You convinced me. All right. So I guess this is the second pack if people just don't want guests and they just want DC characters, because I know that's like a big thing when it comes to the Injustice games. All right. But yeah, no, so because I know people are like, I know DC fans are very passionate when it comes to DC characters in a fighter. So I'm like, I guess here's just a pack of just all DC characters while we're at it. All right, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big Injustice fan, but this could be an absolute cinema moment. Captain Boomerang is one of the Flash villains that hasn't been playable. I mean, yeah, that could be work. That could work. Honestly, he could be fun. Um, I don't know who I would replace him with though, but I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of content with this. I feel like a lot of the comments I've seen so far are pretty fine with this. All right, so we can kind of stick with that then. Now don't forget, guys, we have the donation going on down at the bottom here. That's helping raise funds for UBA5 and other rare research, rare disease research. So if you guys want to consider donating at all in any way, it's literally going to the Raiden Science Foundation for their Fight4Rare campaign. So if you guys want to help out in any way, contribute to them, give them a follow on their social medias and anything like that, they'd appreciate it a ton. Learn how you can help out in any single way, any way. That'd be wonderful too. Um, but yeah, so I do want to say sorry for the very delayed beginning with the audio issues. I don't know what was happening. AMA came in along with Rain, who called me, and you two were real heroes, just telling me what to do to make sure it works. So thank you. Thank you for your help there, and also thank you for your patience on the long delay. Sorry that took way too long for the beginning. But I just wanted to say, yeah, thank you for at least participating in tonight's stream, making it super fun. And yes, next we have to wait for DCKO. That's what's next. But yeah, just I just want to say thank you all for participating in tonight's stream. Y'all are super wonderful people. Don't forget that we have Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection live stream with friends. I have a few people who are going to be helping out with it, who are going to be part of us, who's going to be part of the stream tomorrow. Thank you, History. I appreciate it. I was getting super anxious behind the scenes. But yeah, I'm going to have a couple friends come on over for the Legacy Collection. We're going to play it, review it, and more of those challenges and punishments you guys put on my tab. Those will be part of that as well too. So if you guys want to donate and make me do anything stupid like play an online match where I can only do kicks or I can only throw, but yeah, I think that that would be a lot of fun. I'd love to see you guys there. And also don't forget that I have a fun bonus ranking coming out this Friday for Halloween. A fun little bonus ranking for you all, covering an indie horror fighting game. So stay tuned for that, as I will be doing something like that. Playing online, yes, I will be doing that. So hopefully we can get a couple matches in together, and maybe that can be the challenge that we have to do. We'll just do dumb stuff together. But yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning into this fun stream. Thank you for making it just as fun. You all mean a ton to me, and thank you for everything. My name's Nick, as you know, and thanks for everything, and have a wonderful rest of your night. All right. Bye-bye, y'all. Be cool.